That's been super cool for her to come and watch and see what it's all about. So congratulations to Av once more, and congratulations to Rogan for getting up on the podium.
Hey, we've got another here, well done. And we have got another one to do. We've got another race that started. We haven't got a lot of time. Well, I won't have such a heavy hand this time because I can hold my microphone. How did you do that? That was incredible, let alone the fact that you won, but the slingshot was superb. Had you practiced? Had you timed it? That was immaculate.
Yeah, Toby's been riding really smart all weekend. He's had phenomenal pace, and the old me would have just given up and let him get away, but I was like, man, I've just got to try everything. I've got to hang in there as close as I can because you never know what can happen. He's been riding so well that he's hugging the yellow line up the hill that we're not allowed to cross, so I couldn't get him up the inside. And on the last lap, I thought, oh, I just got to pin it and hope for the best. And I actually just want to say a huge thank you to Ken Dobson. I'm not sure where he is, but he's played a massive part in this package that we've put together this year, and racing in the High Sun Cup really helped when I had to take that slipstream up the hill and try and get the run to the line. So much appreciated also to Ozzy. He gave me a bike that could win today, so all I had to do was ride, and it was heaps of fun, and thanks to Toby for the awesome racing.
There you go. Let's hear it from our champion. Well done. Here we go in the special trophies as well. So from look at that, from Peter here from the Auckland Motorcycle Club. So there's the one-off championship trophy, but more importantly, there's the perpetual as well, and all the names on there that have gone for the years. You can see the history in that one. You can see the glory that goes with it. You heard the tear in her voice. Come on, let's hear it. Number one, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Avalon Biddle. So here we go. The photo shot will be incredible, and you can get your one out there as well. Thank you to the PA team up there because they've allowed us to do this while the other races started. But it is a gorgeous photo. Look at that Pirelli win all the way. Let's hear it. 600 winners. Avgas out there too. Toby and Rogan joins them up there. Top three. Thanks, boys.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. Well done to that Supersport 600 podium. But out on track at the moment, we have 300 Supersport and 250 production. This is their TT as well. So this is a full TT championship on the line here. And at the front at the moment, we have Nathaniel Diprose with Dave Fellows and Jacob Stroud arguing for second place. Blake Ross has got an issue with his bike, so unfortunately we've got Blake Ross just come to a stop outside the turn 2 Foster's construction right-hander, so not sure, just he's going back out on track, so not sure what's happened to Blake there, but definitely a bit of a drama there, unfortunately, for the likeable young man from Pyro. So Blake Ross back racing again, but lost a handful of spots, unfortunately there. We track the leaders. They are heading through the Double B at the moment, and just great pictures to see out there at the moment. Into Highpool, Nathaniel Diprose, Jacob Stroud, Dave Fellows in there. That's Reece Lindsay now, who's inherited 4th place. And look at this run down out of Highpool. They get out of there cleanly and head to the Porsche Dipper. And Nathaniel Diprose, he's won 2 of these, but Jacob Stroud up the inside, and I think he's got that done, so he's made it stick. Nathaniel's going to get the drive and argue back, but Jacob Stroud on the Honda cars, Team Lizard Racing shoes, the Performance KTM RC390. He heads into turn 10, the sweeper. With the lead of this one. So this is a 10-lapper, so a 10-lapper for these 300s. That will be quite a long race for these young dudes. And look at that, already up the hill we go, and Dave Fellows there in 3rd place. So this is good stuff from Dave, who's had a great weekend on that Motorrad Yamaha of his. As they're side by side as they cross the line, it's going to be Jacob Stroud, Nathaniel Diprose, and even Dave Fellows up the inside into turn 1. So trying to catch the update there as we have a look in around turn 1 and heading down the back straight under the laser electrical Pirelli tyres. A pedestrian overbridge, and it's 3 wide as they go through there. Reece Lindsay's got the best seat in the house. He's just there in 4th place. But look at that 390 KTM power just pulling away at the top end of the track. The 88 Nathaniel Diprose, and Jacob Stroud just cuts across and takes the line away. So it is the 70. Jacob Stroud, he's going to lead them through Kev's carousel, and Nathaniel Diprose chased hard there by Dave Fellows right on his back wheel. And then Reece Lindsay, who's definitely keeping in touch with this leading trio just on the back of the fact that they're dicing and changing position. So a full-on 4-way scrap at the moment for this 10-lap TT, and brilliant stuff. We've got the 250 production boys out there, and Leon Jacobs is in charge of that one at the moment. Angus Boyd there in second with Phil Lowe in third. So that'll be another separate race in itself. So we'll keep a track of that one as well as we see Jacob Stroud getting it all out of shape out of the Highpool hairpin. So Nathaniel Diprose will inherit the lead as he heads into portion. Dave Fellis is going to dive up the inside and get into second. So Jacob Stroud, earlier race leader, now relegated to third, but definitely getting out of the corner and driving back into second place. So chopping and changing, toing and froing. And Nathaniel Diprose has got about a 5 bike length advantage as they head into turn 10, the sweeper, and up the hill they come. So this KTM Gavin Veltmeyer prepared Coleman's supported KTM 390 of Nathaniel Diprose. He's won the first 2 of these races and not by much so far this weekend. So we see them up the hill, and Dave Fellows on that awesome R3 Yamaha just getting right up next to Jacob. There, so 4-pack heading into turn 1. The Pirelli tyres right-hander. It is Nathaniel Diprose in charge, Jacob Stroud, Dave Fellows and Reece Lindsay. And then we've got Jesse Stroud in their 5th place at the moment. So a great ride from the younger Stroud in this one with, there you go, Harry Parker and Nick Burke in there as well. So a good little fight for 5th, 6th and 7th. So absolutely mesmerising stuff. So the lead's changed about 18 times already in this 3 laps we've had. And it is Nathaniel Diprose ahead of Jacob Stroud as they head out of Kev's Carousel and up towards Swampy's Curve. With Dave Fellows there, just keeping in touch, going right around the outside. Reece Lindsay is still in touch with this group as well. So 3 KTMs we've got in there, and the Yamaha. So the KTM single-cylinder 390cc power. Definitely, from all accounts, is really good in these mid-speed corners like this double bastard we're into at the moment. So Nathaniel Diprose leads him out of the double B and in towards Highpool. So this is some great racing, and already this 4-pack has gapped the field quite considerably. So 4 of them out there hammering tongs. There's only room for 3 on the podium, and this one is anyone's to win at the moment. So it is going to be all on here as they head into Porsche, and around we go.
That was close.
Very close.
That was very close. That was going to be the mother of all high sides, but somehow he saved it.
So Jacob Stroud, I think that was, yeah, Jacob.
Oh, we got another one down in the dipper. The rider's okay, and he'll pick up his own bike. So at the moment, yellow flags flying just locally. Racing continues. Sorry to interrupt you, Brad.
No, this was, I couldn't catch my breath there for a minute. They were absolutely scintillating racing. But Nathaniel Diprose will lead them up the hill and cross the line. It's Dave Fellows now into second, I believe, and we'll catch them as they cross the line. There's Reece Lindsay now up into third with Jacob Stroud been relegated back to 4th after that massive moment he had out of the Porsche dipper. So catch an update of our fallen rider there. Harry Parker crosses the line, and he's in a good 4th place. So he's had to do it tough with a pretty poor qualifying performance early on the weekend, and now we get Harry Parker up in 5th place, the likeable MTF Finance Timaru Yamaha man.
Well, it looks like
Hey, just guys, just want to quickly butt in, because in that last class we actually had the super stock class as well, so keen to look out. So here we go, this is a TT, so TT, here we go, quick one, Tarbin, 2nd place, well done mate. How was that race?
Yeah, good. It was all about tyre conservation, and I'm still learning that a little bit on the 600, how you can't go flat strap the whole time, so yeah, it got away from me a little bit there.
Well done indeed, Dylan, congratulations mate. You're running with the big boys, you still get a top 6 finish, that's fantastic.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, we only just got the MV Augusta just 2 weeks before the Nationals, so it's still pretty much a road bike. So I'm really happy with it and can't complain. So thanks MV Augusta, New Zealand and Australia, and TR20 and Dave Moss for actually helping us set the bike up this weekend. It was bloody awesome.
Well done, and good of you to thank your sponsors. There we go, give those of you here, give them a round of applause. Super stock, the stock class in amongst the super sports. Back to you guys, thank you.
Yeah, thank you Neil for the update there, and well done to the super stock podium. But while Neil was doing that, we've lost Dave Fellows, so the likeable Wellington man from the Motorrad Yamaha team, he has lost it just coming out of the double bastard, and unfortunately no longer in this one. So trying to catch the update. Race leaders are heading out of turn 10 and up the hill. It is looks like the KTM, so that's still the number 88, I believe, of Nathaniel Diprose coming up the hill and around the start-finish line. So this is a great performance. The 88 of Nathaniel Diprose, then go to the 70 of Jacob Stroud, and now the 42 of Reece Lindsay. So we've lost Dave Fellows. He was the one crashed in the double B, and we have 3 KTMs fighting it out. So the argument for the podium's probably settled on these 3 riders, but still 5 laps to go, Phil.
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, close racing. Boy, we've seen some close racing today. Interesting, I was just down there. I had to quickly dash off to the toilet. I had a quick look outside. The crowd that was there for that 600 race, I mean, everyone was talking about it. Avalon got a huge cheer, which is what it's all about. Toby did as well, and Rogan. But, man, what brilliant racing we've seen in the Motorfest. Coming up, we'll have the grid walk, folks. If you want to be part of it, get down by the gap between the pit garages here. That's where we'll be marshalling the public to come out and see the Legends and the Superbikes. They'll be out on the grid walk at the completion of this one, and then a little bit after that we'll have the team from Kiwi Stunts here doing amazing stuff on big motorcycles.
Yeah, can't wait for that. That's something you really want to get your teeth into. That if you haven't seen much of that stunt riding before, you definitely want to get trackside. They are going to be in the national circuit in between the in and over by the pedestrian overbridge, and also down the front straight doing some wheelies, and also out the back there somewhere as well. So definitely 3 places to keep an eye on. Minimal burnouts because we are still running racing here at the moment, but some awesome wheelies and power slides, so we're definitely keen to keep an eye on that one.
And those wheelies, they won't be like power wheelies, they'll be slow. It'll be your balance point wheelie, won't it? And you've got what? I don't know how much a Harley Davidson weighs, but it's a lot when it falls on you.
Absolutely, yeah, and just to think, this thing's a twin cylinder thing, so not exactly the short, sharp power there, so just so much skill involved on Harley Davidson and the wheelie, and they hop on the handlebars and do big stopping. Oh, it's just amazing what these guys can do on a motorcycle. You have to see it to believe it, and that's coming up after the Legends pit walk. So get trackside, get pit side to meet your Legends, and the Superbike boys will be out there as well. So we can't wait for this one. 4 laps to go now in this awesome 300 Supersport TT. Nathaniel Diprose, Jacob Stroud and Reece Lindsay have bolted out in the front, but still anyone's race. But that gap out to 2.7 seconds. So Nathaniel Diprose with the fastest lap at a 1:51.3, just putting his mark on this TT race at the moment, Phil.
Yeah, great to see you. The softly spoken man, it's a Jekyll and Hyde, isn't it? He's the quietest bloke. He looks like butter wouldn't melt in his mouth, but man, he gets on that motorbike and he twists the throttle like there's no tomorrow. So Nate Diprose has had a great weekend here at Hampton Downs. As I think, if everyone was brutally honest, everyone has, from spectators to engineers to crews to flag marshals to officials. It has been pretty special, and it's by no means over yet, folks. We've got plenty more to keep you entertained here in the Waikato.
Yeah, just to see the Legends have still got their leathers ready. They're going to be out there, so just for them to buy into the atmosphere of all was just brilliant, and the spectators have definitely been able to feed off that energy. They've probably been more excited than some of the spectators have to be here, I think, Phil.
Yeah, I think you're right, Brad. There's no doubt about that. I was just having a quick chat. Stu Avant walked past. I said, "Are you missing riding it?" And he said, "Yeah, I am, to tell you the truth." He said, "You know, someone's got to organise it." And he said, "For me, it has to be this time round. But yeah, I wouldn't mind having putting a leg over a couple of bikes."
So there we go, into turn 10, the sweep, and Nathaniel Diprose has definitely eked out a little bit of an advantage, so he's got this one, I wouldn't say under control, but definitely in the palm of his hand, with going to be 3 laps to go when they cross the line. Jacob Stroud doing a good job in second place, with Reece Lindsay in their third place. Harry Parker's up into fourth, and there might be Nick Burke up there into fifth place, so the battle for fourth and fifth is on at the moment, and Hayden Lockhart there in sixth place. So we'll have a look at the Nathaniel Diprose crossing the line. He's in first place, and then we go back to the 70. That's Jacob Stroud, and then the 42 of Reece Lindsay. So that battle for second and third is definitely within a second, and all to play for at the moment.
Yeah, and laps to go, you know, you wouldn't discount Reece Lindsay. He's doing a pretty good job out there. He's been consistently in the low 153s, best time of a 152.317. Jacob Stroud's been a little bit faster, but he's been hot and cold, like we see quite a bit. He's been in the 151s, but that last lap, the pace just coming out of it, a 153. So with 3 laps to go, or maybe a little bit less than that, it's still all to play for here. I mentioned it before, it's a title that not everyone gets a chance to compete for, and it means something. It means something to these guys. You could see that on the reaction of the faces of Avalon Biddle and Toby Summers and Rogan Chandler when they're up in the podium before. Probably before, I would think, Neil, the biggest crowd you've ever had down there at the podium, wasn't it?
Definitely. Massive.
And that's a result of what we've seen here, the entertainment, the racing, the spectacle that is the Motorfest.
Oh, the noise they made was just incredible.
Brilliant stuff. Nathaniel Diprose, he's into high pull at the moment and gets out of there nice and tidy. So he heads into the Dipper, which has just got a yellow flag there, the yellow bike. I think it's the Carl Cox Motorsport Yamaha R3 of Nick Burke there. So unfortunate stuff for Nick there. He was running in 5th place at one stage, so drama there, unfortunately for Nick. But the top 3 guys all get out of the Dipper and into the short chute with Nathaniel Diprose into turn 10 and with a massive lead now, you'd have to say, as he's going to have 2 laps to go when he crosses the line and does that with ease out of turn 10 and up the hill he comes. So brilliant stuff from Nathaniel Diprose, and hasn't been on a bike very long. Just talking earlier about the most underprepared he's been ever to a race meeting, and have a look at this. This is going to be a commanding lead as he crosses the line with 2 laps to go.
I just wonder too, Brad, that maybe the weekend started to catch up on Jacob. I mean, he's been riding so many different classes. He's going to be absolutely tuckered out by the end of this, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's definitely at least 3 classes he's running in, so maybe even 4. I think he might be in the Post Classics as well, so there could be 4 classes he's ridden in, so that's an Ironman feat as well. And this 10-lap race, I know there's small 300s, but these are still quite physically demanding bikes around this international circuit. There's left-handers, right-handers, double apex corners, there's big braking zones as well, so these guys will definitely have been working for this 10-lap race as we see the team Lizard Racing, Honda cars, Shuzi supported KTM 390 with AFC motorcycles on board. Just this awesome performance from Jacob Stroud. He had a big points lead. It was 26 points as they headed to the North Island, and with Harry Parker slipping outside the podium on all 3 occasions, another big chunk of points going towards Jacob Stroud heading into the final 2 rounds after this one.
He's all on his own.
Brilliant stuff there from Nathaniel Diprose. He's heading into high pull now, and there we go. So that battle for 2nd and 3rd. Have a look at that. Reece Lindsay now right on the back of Jacob Stroud. So we're going to be pretty keen to keep an eye on this one as Nathaniel Diprose. He's through the Dipper and he's gone. So brilliant stuff there. And then look at this. Reece Lindsay just starting to claw that gap down, and Jacob Stroud's going to have to be very careful here with the white flag ready and waiting.
Yeah, huge lead for Diprose, but it's as close as you like. It's 0.8 of a second last time by between Jacob and Reece Lindsay, and I'm picking it'll be a whole lot closer this time. This is for a spot on the podium in the TT. Nathaniel could get off and walk. That's the lead he's got at the moment.
Just absolutely brilliant performance from the Coleman's K Road. Gavin Veltmeyer supported Pirelli tyres man. Nathaniel Diprose, white flag is out, so 1 lap to go, and there's Jacob Stroud. Followed closely now by Reece Lindsay, so the battle for 2nd and 3rd is well and truly alive with 1 lap to go. Waiting for Harry Parker, the Timaru Yamaha apprentice mechanic for MTF Finance. Here he comes now, so after a bad qualifying on Saturday by his standards, quite a pretty good weekend there for Harry, and first time on the Hampton Downs International Circuit on the 300, so he'll take some positives away from this, I'm sure. So brilliant stuff for the likeable man from Timaru, Harry Parker, running in 4th place in the TT at the moment. But having a look, Nathaniel Diprose all out on his own, and Jacob Stroud, he sort of just answered the call of Reece Lindsay at the moment, so just kept that gap nice and steady. So Jacob Stroud, classy performance there in a comfortable 2nd at the moment. So just coming into high pull now, that's our race leader, Nathaniel Diprose. He's definitely got this one well and truly in control. And what a weekend he's had. He's won the first 2 300 Supersport races so far. And here he is into the Porsche Dipper for the final time. And well done to Nathaniel Diprose. He's got 1 more corner to go in the run up the hill. So this has been a brilliant performance. Jacob Stroud, he's still holding off the challenge of Reece Lindsay as they head into the Porsche Dipper, but a couple of lap riders shouldn't be an issue for the likeable young man from Auckland. It is Nathaniel Diprose. Just a couple of small little 250 production bikes to negotiate as he runs up the hill, but we're watching here Nathaniel Diprose, the number 88, and the KTM 390. He's going to swing around the 250s and put them a lap down, but there it is, the race win, the TT champion in the 300 Supersport class. That is Nathaniel Diprose, so a brilliant performance from him. And we watch the run for 2nd. It is going to be the 70 of Jacob Stroud ahead of the 42 of Reece Lindsay. So there we go. Absolutely. absolutely brilliant stuff. Jacob Stroud and Reece Lindsay had a good little battle there, second and third.
Always a great story when it's a comeback, isn't it? It's certainly a comeback for Nathan from pretty severe injuries. It kept him out of the competition for quite some time, so great to see him back on the top step of the podium. Right, coming up, folks, we have got for you the Legends Grid Walk will be happening very shortly here at the Mike Perro Motor Fest, so if you want to be part of that, I know you get sick of me saying this, but you can't walk out onto the hallowed turf of Eden Park and stand there right before the All Blacks play a test. All the people down watching the Legends suit up and fire up these amazing motorcycles. I see the BSL down there, the Buckley inspired masterpiece, made everything but the tyres, so the rumours are. I think Brendan Code's riding that bike in the Legends race. I see Stephen Briggs there getting ready to suit up as well. He was, I think, on one of those Buckleys. He certainly was at the Auckland Classic Racing a couple of weeks ago. So the Superbike and Legends Grid Walk happening very, very shortly. And as I said, if you want to be a part of it, come down to the gap between the pit garages down by the administration suite here at Hampton Downs. That's where we'll corral you and we'll get the officials to take you out onto the racetrack. And it really is something. I did it a couple of months ago at the Bathurst Legends meeting, and just to, one, feel the track temperature heat, because it's well over 40 degrees down there at the moment, and just to soak in the atmosphere, if you like. And that's part of it. It's a visceral experience, motorcycling, and all sorts of motorsport is. It's the sights, it's the sounds, it's the smells, it's the chatter that goes on between the engineers and the bike riders when they're getting ready to do battle. And that's what we've seen today, certainly in the TT races. Real battle out there, real warfare on two wheels. You want to be part of it? Get down by the front straight now, and certainly you're welcome to have a part in this one.
So yeah, we'll just update the results there. So also the 250 production class in there, they get a TT of their own, and Leon Jacobs with the win. Angus Boyd in second place, so a great result for those two. And then Phil Lowe gets the third place, so that's your 250 production podium for their TT. And like we said, Nathaniel Diprose, Jacob Stroud and Reece Lindsay, that's your podium for the 300 Supersport class. So two classes in one race and two TTs. So we're just waiting for Neil, who's going to head down and try and do a quick podium so we can get the microphone straight back across to our guys on the grid. So we'll cross down to Neil now.
Awesome.
Well, unfortunately, our riders are not ready, but we're going to get into it. Third place here to Reece. Welcome to the podium, Reece. How's it feel?
Oh, yeah, not too bad. It's my second podium of the season. Got a third in Timaru as well.
Yeah, good to see. What's it like here today at Hampton Downs?
Towards the end of the day, it's getting hotter and slippery out there, but in the morning, it was a bit off pace and everything, so I had to change a few things, settings, and now I'm up there.
Well done, there you go, and there's your trophy. Congratulations, Jacob. Man, oh man, are you starting to feel tired? What a busy day.
Yeah, no, I think this is probably my 13th race of the weekend so far, I think, and I got 3 more to go. So, you know, it's been pretty busy. Had a great race out there. Nathaniel was riding really well. Total hats off him. We didn't really have the pace to get away like he did, so we had a plan, and if we stuck to it perfectly, we might have been in there at the end. But had that high side moment, and I mean, if I ever don't reach the fertility numbers of Andrew Stroud, then you can look back on that clip and wonder why. Because
oh, there you go. You heard it first. Here, well done. And Nathaniel back here again, another class. Not quite your 13th race today, but hey, from an injury back in December, an amazing recovery. How's the body feeling?
Yeah, the arm's feeling a bit stiff, so I actually sat out the 600 race before. Wanted to have enough energy for this one, and yeah, made it work. Made it work, sure it did. All right, let's go. There's our podium, fantastic. So rocking straight into it. Here. So there's our, oh, look at that. Auckland club members, don't they like each other? Some nice hugs all around, and nice to see. Quickly, a quick photo shot there before we do a 250. Hopefully our 250 guys are ready and racing. Yes, indeed. Thank you, guys. 250 podium. Also quickly now, 250s. Let's have Leon, Reese and Phil up here. All right, podium for our 250 class, membering incorporated within that class, so rocking on up. My apologies to Angus. I've been calling him Angus Ross after another ride, but in fact it's Angus Boyd, so nice one. Leon's up here, and Angus on board. And we're going to get Phil. Is Phil joining us? No, doesn't look to be. So there we go. We'll go straight into it with Angus. Oh, there we go. Got a good hat on board. Well done, Angus. Mate, you're making a habit of this. You're liking this place.
Yeah, it's a bit gutted because I really wanted to have a good battle with Leon, and it was really setting out to be a good one, but just got stuck behind some slow 300s and lost the toe on Leon, so oh well. But it was a good race in the end, and I got 20 points, and I think I've got the round win, so I'm pretty stoked.
Well done indeed. All right, there we go. We'll do the oh, thank you. You've made it. Cool. How was that?
It was tiring. I was just riding, and when I normally finish a race, I was thinking, when is it finishing? It's quite a long race. I don't know if I've actually managed to do one that long without crashing. So, yeah.
Well done, and you got 3rd place. So what happened today, mate? A slight flaw in the perfect riding normally?
Yeah, not sure. I was pushing too hard in race 1, and the track didn't seem to have the grip, so I made a mistake, went down at the hairpin. So race 2, I just wanted to stay on, didn't want to push so much, and just this last race, I didn't push so much, but just tried to be consistent. I saw a lot of 300s down, so I knew it could be slippery out there, and just kept consistent. And I made a rule: just don't look back, don't check where Angus is. I just kept going, and it was so tough. I just had to keep going, and just got to keep going because 10 laps. But yeah, we got there.
Well done indeed. So let's hear it, folks, out here. Leon Jacobs, Angus Boyd and Phil Rowe. There's your podium. Let's hear it. And the microphone heading back to the team. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Neil. Yeah, Greg Rust will be our man on the spot out on the hallowed turf that is the front straight here at Hampton Downs. Now, folks, we're encouraging you to come out and be a part of this celebration.